Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Holiday Cup, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Team Number 1 from my top 5 best teams for the Holiday Cup. Oh my goodness, guys. Team Number 1, my goodness, Team Number 1 is insanely strong, guys. Probably had one of my better days of Season 13 with Team Number 1. Ended up climbing over 230 points, guys. This team is insane. It's going to be leading with Dunsparce, and also on this team, on the safe swap, Lanturn. Lanturn, very powerful in this meta. It actually handles the ice types and the flyers, which is quite, it's a good chunk of the meta. And we all know by now, Lanturn is an absolute monster, about as tanky as it gets, can get to those surfs really fast, and can hit really hard with those thunderbolts with stab. So Lanturn, very safe swap. And also on Team Number 1, Altaria in the back to close the game strong. Much like Lanturn, Altaria, tanky and powerful as well. You just really have to obviously protect it from those ice types and the charmers. But my goodness, Altaria, super powerful, very good closer. But before we dive into the featured set of the video, we are going to start things off with some bonus battles that I thought were a lot of fun. And here we go. Dunsparce on the lead, the most powerful lead you could possibly run in this Holiday Cup. It wins lead a lot, guys, because it beats a lot of things and has coverage on a lot of things in this meta. And that is what we are seeing right here with this Altaria. We do shield up Dunsparce because it is, let's be real, guys, it's the MVP of Team Number 1. It has so much coverage on this meta. It is insane. We're going for this rock slide, and they can tank that, and they do. They're going to have a rough time tanking another one. It's going to be getting them quite low, and they usually stay in and lose lead, guys, allowing you to win lead just like we saw there. And the reason why is because they don't know what to do with Dunsparce, guys. It has the coverage on the meta, and that is exactly what we're seeing right here. They've got a Lanturn in the back. I was finding that a lot of the teams that I was running into with Team Number 1 was triple weak to Dunsparce. That's why we protect it, but we're going to let this go here. And we're going to look to get off another drill run here. They did shield up the first one. They can tank this. It does about 50% health, and they do let it go, and they look to farm down. So now what we're going to do is actually align our Altaria just in case they have an ice type lurking in the back. We'd rather have it here than on an ice type, of course. And they can go Thunderbolt all they want, guys. Altaria, tanky. It hits for neutral damage, and there it is. They did have an ice type in the back, and this is why we've got Lanturn on Team Number 1. Handles the ice types beautifully, and that, of course, is because with its water typing, it is resisting the ice type damage. We do shield up the Shadow Ball correctly. They generally go right for that Shadow Ball. They rarely ever bait on Lanturn when it comes to Frostlass, and they let our Thunderbolt go, guys. That is amazing. I generally just go right for it. For some reason, a lot of trainers don't tend to shield their Frostlass, and I don't know why, but they let that go, which means that we are farming down, and yeah, they saw the writing on the wall. They concede the match. It was just about over. Good game, well played. I'm telling you guys, Dunsparce never ceases to amaze me. This thing is so good right now in Season 13. But here we go. Alola Ninetales running Charm. We can do quite well here. You love to see this on the lead, especially given the fact that we have a dragon in the back. So going to go for the Rock Slide. Going to hit for super effective. They can tank one, but they cannot tank two, and we know that. So what we're going to do here is actually shield up this potential Weather Ball here, or it's a Psyshock, excuse me. Should have gone Weather Ball to bait. They were definitely going to get a shield either way, but that is fine. We press on. We're going to go for another Rock Slide, and we take out the Alola Ninetales. That's a major obstacle out of the way, and they meet us with an Obstagoon. So we aggressively swap into our Lanturn here. And in this matchup, I think I got a little too aggressive with the Lanturn when shields are up. We're going to go for the Thunderbolt. Should probably bait here, but they generally let it go. Generally expecting a bait, and they shield. So that is fine. We do tank another Night Slash, no problem, but a third Night Slash would be a bit rough for us. So going to look to build up to the Thunderbolt and either do big damage or grab that final shield. We're okay with either one here. putting a lot of hope and faith into our Altaria. They do let that go, and I do believe they counter down. Yeah, they're going to counter down and absolutely load up on energy. So now we're in a tricky spot here. They've got loaded energy. I was expecting them to blind throw a potential Night Slash, likely fishing for a boost. That's what a lot of people do, and we will catch the next move onto Altaria. That's generally the play pattern with Obstagoon, catching that resisted damage. You'll love to see it. And they've got a Lanturn of their own in the back. So getting a little tricky here. Obviously, our fast activating charge move with Stab would be resisted with its electric typing. And they go right for that Thunderbolt. That is fine. We tank that. And going to go for the Moonblast here. Again, probably a little bit aggressive, but a lot of trainers have just not been shielding. So that's the data that I was going on, and it was not working out. Because now it's going to get a little tricky. I do believe we let this go. It's just a Surf. We know that we live it, and now we're forced to just go for the resisted damage here. It's getting a little tricky, not gonna lie here, guys. They are calling our moves to perfection, and now we absolutely have to shield whatever this is, and it's looking to be a bit rough. We're not quite gonna make it. The play for them is to swap into Obstagoon, do some super effective counter damage, and force us to throw. And that is exactly the win con that they are playing to. And we are just too low. We cannot make it to another move in time. My goodness, they played that beautifully. Hats off to our opponent, playing to their win cons to perfection. Unable to get that one done, but good game, well played. Oh, guys, team number one, so good. I'm telling you, if you have these Pokemon, please run it now before they start countering team number one. But here we go, Obstagoon, that's a lead loss. We make a play into our Lanturn safe swap, and they are staying in a little bit, likely to chip and dip. As that's generally what you have to do up against a Lanturn. It's so powerful, so tanky, so spammy, and I do prefer Spark in this meta, despite what PvPoke might say, and you guys are going to see why. We ran into a lot of Water Gun Lanturns, and they're fighting a good fight here. Holy smokes! I wonder what they have in the back. They're going to go for another Night Slash. We tank that, and now they finally make the play into their Altaria. The switch clocks are way out of alignment, and we're going to take advantage of that. Going to hit this thing with a big Thunderbolt, and they will farm down, but that's fine. We can bring in our Dunsparce here and go to work on this Altaria. They're just about within Rock Slide range. And we know that we tank a Sky Attack here, no problem. We're quite tanky as well. And we're just going to overload a little bit and take full advantage of the misaligned switch timers. And now we will shield out the second Sky Attack. And I do believe we throw one more rollout, maxing out that energy. And now we will go for the Rock Slide. They can shield this if they want, but we will have another one locked and loaded for them. But no, they do let that go and take the shield advantage. Fully expecting that Obstagoon to come back in. And if that is the case, we will aggressively swap into our Altaria, and there it is. They've got a Water Gun Lanturn in the back, and this is why I personally prefer Spark and would highly recommend it. For Altaria, guys, you're going to do terribly against Altaria if you're running Water Gun. And I don't want to hear about the opposing electric types, because the most common electric type in this meta is going to be an opposing Lanturn, and you will need Spark to do that neutral damage. We do shield out the big Thunderbolt, and gonna look to go for a Sky Attack bait. They did shield up our Moonblast, and now we will go for the bait, and we grab the shield. You'll love to see it. We do tank a Thunderbolt from this health range, and that is fine. So now we finally successfully baited, playing to the win con here, guys. We do tank that Thunderbolt, and fully expecting a catch. They do catch. We held on to that energy. Read them like a book, guys. You love to see it. You got to be reading what your opponent has to do to win. And we had a drill run stored on our Dunsparce, and we're going for it, saying bye-bye to the Water Gun Lanturn. You love to see it. Team number one, as strong as it gets, the most powerful team you could run. And you guys are seeing evidence of that right here. Good game, well played. Oh, those bonus battles were a lot of fun, but we now move into the featured set of the video. And here we go. Lanturn lead. You'd love to see it if you're running team number 1 with Dunsparce. Dunsparce handles Lanturn quite well, guys. And we will look to shield any potential Thunderbolts, but this is just a Surf, and we do tank this no problemo, guys. We're going to hold on to our energy expecting a swap. They do into a Vigoroth, and it is Altaria time. Altaria handles Vigoroth beautifully, obviously, because we are resisting this fast move pressure, and they need a boatload of body slams to come anywhere near KOing Altaria. I do believe they need 3 body slams to take us out, and we will not allow that to happen whatsoever. We are going to keep our Dunsparce healthy for that Lanturn because we can hit that thing for super effective damage, and we are going to let our Altaria get quite low and look to farm this Vigoroth all the way down. The reason why is because we want to have a big Moonblast, or be close to one for that Lanturn that will undoubtedly come back in, and there it is right on cue. We are pretty close, and we do get to it. This is likely the only move we're going to get to, and we are hoping for a attack drop, but no such luck. We never get that kind of luck. Would you believe that? But that's okay. They're going to farm us down, and that is fine. Gonna come back in with our Dunsparce here. And I do believe we let this go at this point. This Lanturn is quite low, and we do tank a Thunderbolt. Not sure what else they could have in the back. It's a Wigglytuff, and we've got loaded energy. This is fine. Lanturn has a very strong neutral matchup, especially if we can get shields down, and that's what we're going for here. We're going for drill run number 2. They have to put the hope and faith into their Charmer to shield the Charmer. That's the play, and we know that. And now Lanturn up 2 shields can do amazing things, even up against the Charmer. You'd love to see it. That Charm nerf works wonders for Season 13. One of the best decisions Niantic made to nerf the Charm. It is now relatively balanced. They could even drop it down another stage and would be fine, but we won't go that extreme. It's fine where it is. They can catch all they want, guys. We knew that we needed back-to-back. One for the Wigglytuff and one for the low-health Lanturn. Congrats to you, my friend. You know your counts. You can time a catch, but it does not matter because we're saying bye-bye to the annoying Charmer. You'd love to see it. Lanturn closing the game strong. That's going to be yet another good game. Well played. Oh, the wins were coming in left, right, and center with team number 1. You'd love to see it. You also love to see a fellow Dunsparce enthusiast. We are here in the mirror match up against an opposing Dunsparce. The best way to play this, I did actually see this quite a bit, guys. You just have to stay in and simul KO. That's the play. If they want to give up a shield, that's even better because you will leave with a shield advantage and the Dunsparce will be too low to do anything to your backline. So that's the play. You do have to be careful for a potential catch. You'll want to throw at awkward times. Just over farm as much as you can. Just to avoid that catch. You could even wait a turn, but then you're giving them extra energy. So the best way to play a Dunsparce lead, you stay in, simul KO, over farm as much as you can, try to throw at awkward times to avoid them catching. I did have one give us a shield advantage, and that worked out beautifully, but they generally will not shield anything and look to play out the zeros, and that's fine. So now we're just going to keep throwing rollouts until we both go down. That's a major obstacle out of the way for our backline. And we are going to wait down the switch timers to see who goes in first. It didn't work, but they've got an Alolan Marowak in the back, so that is fine. And they make a play into a Beware, likely trying to catch a Surf, but they're going to catch this Thunderbolt for the troubles, and that does big damage to a pretty squishy Pokemon. And now we go into our Altaria to farm down. They can go payback all they want. We tank a payback, no problem. And we are going to get that farm down and leave with loaded energy for the Alolan Marowak. Neither one of us have given up a shield thus far, and that is fine. We're going to look to pressure one, and they are not giving up the shields, and that is fine. They're going down with the ship with the Alolan Marowak. I tell you guys, team number 1 loves to see Alolan Marowak. You don't see it very often, but when you do, you can know that you will do quite well with team number 1 for my top 5 best teams for the Holiday Cup. And I do believe we shield. No, we're going to let this go. Still no shields given from either side. I guess we're playing a game of chicken to see who cracks first, and they do give up the shield first, and now all we need is back-to-back. They know that we're getting there, and they do concede the match. Good game, well played to our opponent. Oh, team number one was really putting in the work. Dunsparce was the MVP. I'm telling you guys, this thing is amazing for the Holiday Cup because we had an Alolan Ninetales. They swap into a double, and we meet this with our Altaria, of course. This is the alignment, especially when you know they have a fairy type on the lead. So we're going to play this carefully. They go payback there. We tank that all day. But the goal here is to leave this matchup with as little health as possible. We're going to go for a Sky Attack here. I don't imagine they shield, and they don't. We want our Altaria low because we don't want to give that Alolan Ninetales any more farm than necessary. They can go Body Slam here, and we will farm down. We are going to leave this matchup with some loaded energy, and we are going to go for the Sky Attack to chip. There's no way we're making it to a big Moonblast. This will be more than enough chip damage to put our Dunsparce that much further ahead. They do Charm down. They get 2 charms. That is fine, and we are coming in with Dunsparce. It's Dunsparce time. We held on to the energy. They are trying like heck to catch our moves, but it is not happening. We're reading this team like a book, my friends, and they've got a Vigoroth. So when shields are up, you're fine just to go straight Surf, guys. It does plenty of neutral damage with Stab from Lanturn. And we will actually shield. A lot of trainers just go for that big move, but no, they bait, and that is fine. Again, much like with that Altaria matchup, we want to leave this with as little health as possible. We are down a shield, but that is fine. We're going to let this Bulldoze go. They have to go Bulldoze at this point. That's the only move that they are making it to, and they do go for it. And we do leave this matchup with little health again, so that we don't give that Alolan Ninetales any more farm than necessary. And we're only getting the one move. We go for the big move, and holy smokes, they let that go. Oh my goodness, what are they doing? There's no way that we were baiting there. Now we just farm down with Rollout. Holy smokes. Team number one putting in the work. You love to see it. Dunsparce closing it strong. Good game, well played. I honestly just want to play team number one for the entirety of the Holiday Cup, but something tells me you guys would not be here for that, so I'm going to enjoy it while I can. We've got an Altaria lead. This is a positive lead. They try to catch. We hold on to the energy, expecting that and seeing it coming from a mile away. They make a play into an Obstagoon, and we will align our own Altaria onto the Obstagoon. Much like with Vigoroth, Altaria handles Obstagoon quite well, as the Night Slashes, even with Stab, don't really do a whole lot. We're about as tanky as it gets, and they do let our Sky Attack through. When shields are up, you don't even really need to build up to that Moonblast. Sky Attack plus Dragon Breath does plenty of damage to Obstagoon, and they're going to go for another Night Slash, and that is fine. We do tank another one. And we're actually going to let this go. And no, we're actually going to shield. Okay. We could have tanked that, but I believe we wanted to get to a Sky Attack for the opposing Altaria. And I am expecting them to come back in with it. We were a couple of Dragon Breaths off. We do get to it, and we're going to look to go for this. They can let this go. They do live it, but they do shield, and they're going to look to farm down, and that is fine. Gonna come back in with our Dunsparce. That's our best matchup for Altaria. That's why it's on the team. For all of these powerful Pokemon, it dominates them all. You love to see it. We tank you tank a Sky Attack, no problem. And we're going to look to fire off a Rock Slide. They can tank this, but it gets them quite low, and we will look to get rid of them with, another Rock Slide. They want to shield this low health Altaria, by all means, but no, they let it go, and that is amazing. They've got a Togedemaru in the back, and we aggro swap into our Lanturn. We wanted to be super fast on the swap. Don't want to give them any sort of energy lead on us, and they do tank our first Surf. That does a lot of damage. Togedemaru, not known for its bulk. One Surf gets it to about 50% health, which is insane to see. And holy smokes! Nice Gyro Ball trainer. What were they doing? I was fully expecting a Wild Charge, but they go for the double resisted Gyro Ball bait, likely not wanting to debuff themselves. And unfortunately, it did not work out for them. They let our Surf go. Good game, well played to them. For those of you that might have lost a lot of elo messing around in the Ultra League, you want to get it back, maybe try team number 1. But here we go. Shadow Vic lead. This is a lead loss, but we know that if we hang in here and give up 1 shield, we can likely grab both of their shields, as Shadow Vic is about as squishy as it gets, but it does hit like a truck. Like I said, we're gonna look to shield once and try and grab both of their shields to set up our backline to have the most success here. We're fine losing lead. Our back 2 Pokemon are equipped to handle just about anything in this meta, and we definitely don't want to risk that Shadow Vic finding its way to our Lanturn. And we do grab both of those shields. They will likely go for that farm down, and they do get it. But we have a shield advantage and going to align our Altaria onto the Shadow Vic. They've got a Miltank in the back, so we're going to preserve our Altaria to perhaps sweep this game. We're not looking to shield anything, especially if they're not even going to bother building up to the big move. We tank these body slams all day, even if they do have stab. Miltank doesn't hit particularly hard, and shields are down. We're going for that big Thunderbolt, doing big damage to a pretty tanky Pokemon. And they do finally build up to the big move, but we are not going to shield this either. It is just another body slam, and that is fine. We tank those all day, guys. And this is just another body slam. We live it yet again. They can go body slam all they want. It will not help them whatsoever. Gonna go for the big. We probably could have just gone surf here in hindsight, but it's gonna take them out. We say bye-bye to the Miltank, and now it's all up to Altaria to shine. They do come back in with that Shadow Vic, of course, and they look to catch onto a Magneton. In theory, very nice catch, but Magneton, much like Shadow Vic, is about as squishy as it gets, and even resisted damage is enough. That is so sad to see. This should be an absolutely dominating matchup, and we will shield this. This is going to hit the hardest of their remaining Pokemon. And 1 Sky Attack will take out this Shadow Magneton. That is so tragic, guys. Can you imagine? That should be such a dominating matchup, but it just does not have the stats. It hits like a truck. Much like Shadow Vic, they can go Sludge Bomb all they want. It will not help them, and we do farm down. My goodness, guys. Team number 1. As strong as it gets, I'm telling you, if you want to climb in the Holiday Cup, this is the team for you. That is the team, my friends. Good game, well played to our opponent, and holy smokes. Team number 1 far exceeded my expectations, and judging from you guys' comments, you guys have been killing it with team number 1 as well, and nothing pleases me more to see that. That's the goal of this channel, help you guys succeed as much as possible and achieve whatever your goals may be for Pokemon Go Battle League. But my goodness, team number 1. I'm telling you guys, I finally hit veteran with team number 1. Climbed 230 points with team number 1 in the Holiday Cup. And like I said, I'm so tempted just to run this thing for the remainder, but we got to keep the fresh content going for you guys. Team number 1, amazing. Knocked it out of the park. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.